Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here today. My name is Kelsey, aka the Empress, and today we are doing a beautiful pick a card reading to look at your current psychic energy and your current psychic gifts or spiritual abilities, and maybe how to work with them, and any messages or advice that Spirit has for you in regards to this energy for you at the time that you find yourself at this video. So I'm super excited to get into it. Out in front of you, we have 4 different piles to choose from, and I'm going to ask you guys to take a couple deep breaths, really ground yourself, connect to your intuition, connect to your guides, and ask which one of these 4 piles or which ones of these 4 piles is holding the messages that you need to hear in regards to your current psychic energy and your current spiritual gifts and abilities. And here we have pile number 1 with the key here. We have pile number 2 with the stone turtle. We have pile number 3 with the petrified wood. And pile number 4 here with the compass. So go ahead, pause the video, really feel out which pile or piles are calling to you, and I will have the timestamps to the beginning of each reading in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comment section. So go ahead, pause the video if you still need a moment, and I am going to go ahead and move on to group number 1. Hello, my beautiful group number 1, those of you that chose card number 1 with the key here. This reading is for you, and we're looking at your current psychic energy, your current most prominent spiritual abilities, and how to maybe work with those, as well as any guidance or advice that Spirit has for you in regards to this. And I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but this key actually has some like silver kind of star-like flakes in this black pendant part of the key. And an energy I'm really getting for you guys is like astrology, like that's really giving me like sky, stars, like nighttime vibes. But there's also Hecate coming through here quite strongly for group number 1. So some of you guys may feel very connected to the goddess Hecate. You may work with her. You may be being called to her for some reason as well. And I really feel like for a lot of you guys, group number 1, you may be really getting into like divination, or you need to. Any kind of divination that maybe you feel called to, but I'm definitely picking up on like a pendulum or any kind of divination that gives like a yes or no answer. There's something here about being able to answer questions intuitively and needing to trust that, as well as being able to make decisions. Hecate is the goddess of the crossroads, right? When we need to make a decision on which way to go. And that's something that's coming through here very strongly for group number 1. I also feel like for some of you guys, group number 1, this is coming through as kind of a confirmation for some of you. Some of you guys may be wondering if you should be taking a specific path or changing your path. Some of you guys are feeling very called or leaning towards some sort of new creative endeavor, new creative journey, new creative outlet, however that comes through for you. It is going to be different for everybody, as this is a general reading, but anybody that chose this pile that is feeling very drawn or called to any sort of creative sort of expression, Spirit is saying absolutely dive into that, fall into that, trust that, and have faith in that. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, jump in head first and quit your day job and solely do this without any sort of you know, stability behind it. But there's definitely an energy here to need to lean into that in some way, shape, or form. So for a lot of you guys too, maybe a lot of your intuitive messages and your ability to like divine messages or channel spirit comes through in that kind of creative flow state. Okay. But let's go ahead, group number one, and we're going to get into your reading here, and we're going to take a look at your overall psychic energy, and then we're going to shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number one, we have the shaman coming through here. I love that. And I love how this also really kind of resembles this key with like the silver flakes in it and such. There's definitely an ability for group number one to be able to almost like tap into, for some of you guys, maybe it's the Akashic, or maybe that's what you feel like you're connecting to. For some of you guys, tapping into like astrology for the answers to something. There's just a huge energy here of being able to tap into like a higher vibration or a higher energy or a higher power in order to receive an answer. There's something here where it's like you guys are standing here with your hand open, waiting to receive the answer. And for some of you guys, there may be some sort of answer or sign or symbol that you're being sent that you're not receiving in some way, shape, or form, or that you're not trusting. Some of you guys, there's this essence of like time coming in here. So like I said earlier, some of you guys may really be very gifted in the ability to tap into like the Akashic records. Some of you guys may be very, very gifted in regards to tuning into past lives specifically. Being able to reach into the past for like certain information and knowledge and wisdom in order to be able to apply it to like the present and the current situation in front of you is something that's coming through here. And I'm also really seeing this here for some of you guys, as I had brought up like the divination aspect of this. Group number one, you guys have a very strong ability to divine answers or to channel spirit in divination ways, different divination ways for different people. Of course, for some of you guys, it's the pendulum. For some of you guys, it may be tarot or oracle cards. Maybe you watch a lot of tarot readings on YouTube, and maybe that's kind of been your sign or your symbol from spirit to say like, look, you know, you've been interested, you have this ability. You know, maybe try doing it for yourself, or maybe try doing readings for other people. But there's also this aspect here for some of you guys about like throwing bones or charms or runes in some way, shape, or form, like throwing objects and reading the messages that come through that way. That is here very strongly as well. So there's definitely a very strong psychic energy and ability in regards to receiving the answers to your questions or your inquiries that you have right now. You are very able to do that. So if you've been trying to ask certain questions and you haven't been following the answer or trusting the answer that you're getting, Spirit here is saying like, trust the answers that you're getting. You're not wrong, okay? So let's go ahead and get some tarot, group number one, and go a little deeper into this energy for you, into this reading. For group number one, current psychic energy and abilities. We have the Five of Wands. And the Two of Pentacles. I feel like group number one, you guys are very able to see your way out of any situation. You're very able to see how to maneuver, how to kind of weave your way through certain obstacles in order to get to the other side. And I find it very interesting too that here on this Five of Wands, we have these snakes that are weaved around these wands. And here in this card, the Shaman card, we also have the snakes. So the snake may be very symbolic for you, or maybe showing up as some sort of confirmation for you, group number one, or some sort of animal spirit guide for you. If that's something that's been coming up, if that's something that's been showing up, as well as for some of you guys, if you're asking for confirmation, I am hearing like ask to see something specific. And for some of you guys, it's like ask to see an image of a snake if, you know, you are on the right path, or however that works out for you, however that question is best worded for you in your situation. Like ask for specific confirmation. For some of you guys, you may be asking for confirmation but then have no idea what you're looking for because you didn't ask for anything specific. So it's like when you see that confirmation that Spirit's sending you, you're doubting it. Okay, interesting. I do also see for group number 1 that a lot of you guys have like some guardian angel energy here. You may have ancestors that are guiding you, or passed on loved ones that are really guiding you here. Some of you guys may have the ability to tune into some mediumship energies as well, for sure. We also have the 7 of Cups. Yeah, see, what I'm really seeing here that Spirit really wants to talk about is like this level of confusion or this level of doubt that you guys constantly maybe live in regards to like questioning whether or not you're right, or questioning whether or not your intuition is leading you down the right path, or whether or not this is your intuition, or whether it's just your anxiety. It's like constantly overthinking the answers that you're receiving, that Spirit really wants to bring to your attention. That there is a lack of faith in your own abilities here. So I feel like group number 1, you know what your abilities are, and I feel like they've maybe enhanced even over the last kind of 6 months. For a lot of you guys, you've had very enhanced kind of messages, a lot louder messages potentially for some of you guys, or a lot more specific or clearer answers coming through, but there's still a lot of doubt surrounding it. And what I hear Spirit saying is like, ask for a specific symbol, ask for specific confirmation, so that way you are able to maybe trust it a little easier. As well as I'm hearing for group number 1 to allow yourself to move from the answers that you're receiving. In order to build that trust, you have to take that leap of faith. So what I'm really seeing here for group number 1 is there's a need to kind of embody that like Fool energy of the tarot, and really embody the ability to take that leap of faith and to trust that everything's going to work out fine, to trust that you aren't being led astray, even though it may feel like you're being, you know, led backwards, or you may feel like you're being led in a contradictory manner towards what you're desiring. Spirit here is saying, have faith in what you feel, have faith in what you see, have faith in your ability to read energy and your ability to divine like the path that you're meant to be on, because you're not wrong, group number 1, okay? You're not wrong. So let's pull you a few more oracle cards for group number 1, please. We have Guardian. Yeah, see, there's definitely some guardian angel energy here. I also feel for a lot of you guys that you are... I don't even know how to word this. It's almost as though you are meant to guard something in this lifetime. Okay. What I'm seeing here, group number 1, is that there is a need for you to guard your passion or your potential, or that thing that came up in the beginning, whatever path you're being led down, whatever kind of creative expression that you're feeling called towards, whatever that is that you're feeling called towards, there's a need to hold it very close to you. There's a need to protect it. There is a need for you to hold it close to your heart, okay? And allow yourself to work towards that in whatever way is necessary, even if it feels like it's, you know, maybe leading you astray. It isn't. And I'm really getting that energy from these snakes here, and how they're intertwining, and how maybe for a lot of you guys, the answers or the pathway that you're being led down feels very contradictory to what you want to do. And again, there's a need to have faith here. There's a need to trust that you are not being led astray. Group number group number 1. There's things that you have to learn in order to be able to kind of step through this portal, or to fully step into your power. And I feel like that's how Spirit is leading you right now. Spirit is leading you to and through all of these situations and the events that you need to encounter in order to gain the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that you're going to need in order for everything to come together, okay? Interesting. Let's pull another card here. You guys definitely have the ability, like, of communication. You have the ability to communicate with Spirit, with your ancestors, with passed on loved ones. That is very, very clear here, and very, very loud. And there's a need for you to trust that communication, however it comes through for you, okay? We also have aura observation. Some of you guys may have the ability to kind of almost like view certain situations from like the top-down view. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, almost as though like you would think of like an out-of-body experience, or like you would think with like guardian angels looking down on you. There's something here about being able to connect to these guardian angels, being able to connect to your ancestors, and being able to observe yourself in this world in order to see the bigger picture. Interesting. That's something that's definitely here that I feel like a lot of you guys could tap into during meditations and things like that. I also feel for you guys that you are very, very, very good at reading situations and reading other people. You're very, very good at reading energy. And there's just a need to trust what you're reading. There's a need to trust what you're observing. A need to trust what you're feeling. I really feel for a lot of you guys, I'm like, I keep hearing like, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen, or I knew this person was going to bail, or I knew that this wasn't going to work out, or I knew how this was going to go. And I feel like group number 1, if you feel like that's you, if you feel like you say those statements a lot, or if you're constantly like, I knew this was going to happen, there's a need to kind of take a step back and really observe yourself, and really observe like when it was that you knew that specific thing was going to happen, or when it was that you knew that that situation was going to play out in the way that it did, and try to tune into like where you could have maybe created change in that situation, or where you could have better trusted yourself instead of waiting for that to play out the way it did and then realizing that you should have trusted yourself after it's already too late. I hope that makes sense for you. Let's go ahead and pull one final card, group number 1. Any last guidance or advice that Spirit has for you in regards to your current psychic energy and your current psychic abilities for group number 1, please? Faith. And look at the hands. Look at the hands. And look at the hands. There's a need to really hold on to what you are receiving from the universe here, okay? To the answers, to the guidance, to the abilities, to the gifts, to the messages. We have hope, support, miracles, and spirituality. So this is very, very clear. Group number 1. Spirit here is saying like trust in your crown chakra, trust in your third eye chakra, even trust in your ability to see things in your mind's eye, trust in your ability to communicate with Spirit. There is a huge need for trust here, and I feel like group number 1, that's the biggest message that Spirit has for you. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know you've tapped into your psychic abilities, you know kind of where they are right now, but there's a lot of doubt surrounding them, and you may be feeling like you're at kind of a crossroads, or you're at some sort of blockage, or wondering, even for some of you, like wondering like, you know, am I crazy, or have I finally lost my mind? You know, why do I keep trying to go down this path? There really feels like for a lot of you guys losing faith in your spirituality, because you haven't seen any manifestations, or you haven't seen things play out in the way that you wanted, or you haven't seen the opportunity or the ability to move past this blockage that you've been at. And Spirit is saying like the best way and the fastest way that you're going to move past this blockage is to trust in the things that you're seeing and the answers that you're receiving, instead of seeing them and being like, oh yeah, and then hesitating and doubting it, and becoming like in conflict with that communication with Spirit, instead of taking action on the communication that you're receiving. There's a lot of confusion and a lot of kind of lack of clarity here in regards to being able to trust whether or not this is a message from the universe, or whether or not this is actually like a synchronicity or a sign. Yes, it is. Take it as what it is, instead of waiting for it to happen to you, or waiting for something to happen that's so obvious that you can't miss it. Trust what you're being given, group number 1. I hope this makes sense for you, but this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 1. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what other kinds of readings you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so freaking much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 2. Those of you that chose pile number 2 with the stone turtle here, this reading is for you, and we are looking at your current psychic energy, as well as your current kind of most prominent spiritual abilities, and any messages, guidance, or advice that Spirit has for you in regards to this energy. So group number 1, group number 2, starting off, this turtle is really giving me the kind of this essence of longevity. So I feel like there is a message here for group number 2 to really stick with something, or to not give up, or to continue moving forward, even though things may be feeling like they're taking a very long time, or like they're moving very slowly. So that's a message coming through here for whoever needed that message, but things are moving just as they should be. In order to create like this essence of longevity or stability in some way, shape, or form. Interesting. Some of you guys may be pursuing some sort of spiritual based business, or a business that intertwines with your spirituality in some way, shape, or form. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be like, you know, a professional tarot reading office, or, you know, anything like that. But there's something here where it's like you've been doing something with a lot of faith behind it. A lot of your spiritual beliefs and a lot of your spiritual practices kind of surround this manifestation or this desire. And Spirit here is saying, don't give up on whatever that is for you. Even if it may be moving slowly, or even if it may be growing slowly, or slower than you had hoped. Okay, let's go ahead here, and we're going to take a look at your current overall psychic energy, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 2, we have the Sword coming out here for you. So I feel like group number 2, there's something here about cutting something or somebody off, or having this mentality that you just need to stop allowing something. which is interesting. So I really feel like for a lot of my group number 2s, there's a lot of mental chatter. There's a lot of kind of inner narrative stories, the stories you tell yourself coming through here that seem very significant. And what I really see here, group number 2, is Spirit saying like there's a need to be able to distinguish between the stories you're telling yourself and the truth. Okay. So for some of you guys, you've made yourself believe the worst possible outcome, or you've, told yourself this story of how you're not good enough, or how it's not going to work, or, there's just this inner narrative or this inner voice that you hear all day long telling you that you should just give up, or that you're not good enough, or that, that it's not possible. There's something here where it's like that's very loud within your mind, and Spirit is saying like there's a need for mental clarity here. There's a need for a cleansing of the third eye, to work with third eye energy. For group number 2, there's truly a need to tap into that energy and to tap into clearing that energy. To some of you guys, there may need to be like some energetic cord cutting, whether this is with another person. Okay, group number 2, you guys are telepathic. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you worry very, very much about what other people think about you, and you may pick up on other people's thoughts, or other people's even own inner voice is kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like you're picking up on the inner narrative of other people and what they believe about themselves, and kind of internalizing it as though they're thinking that about you. There's a strong sense of telepathy here that is just kind of this open channel where you're picking up everything, but maybe not able to distinguish that it isn't yours. Okay. Wow. Some of you guys may really resonate with having like a specific person that you feel very connected to, or a specific soul that you feel very connected to, whether it's romantic, platonic, family member, whatever that is. And you may be very kind of connected to them telepathically, regardless of the distance between you. And you may be picking up on that as well, depending on how this is resonating with you. This is a general reading, so it'll be a little different for everybody, but there's definitely some very, very strong telepathic energy here that you are picking up on. It's almost like you are a radio that is open to all stations, and you're picking up on everybody's inner narrative and kind of internalizing it in a sense where it's like either you're recognizing kind of what it is, but maybe internalizing it and feeling like they're thinking these things about you, when in reality it's the stories they tell themselves about their own life, or about their own capabilities, or about their own worth. And for some of you guys, there's like this very strong connection to another soul that weighs very heavily on your mind. And again, there's like this need to really be able to distinguish between the truth, between what's yours and what isn't. It's almost like this empathic energy, but mentally. It's instead of like emotionally, it's with thoughts. Okay, interesting. Some of you guys may have a lot of very heavy air signs in your chart, or may be very influenced by air energies, or very connected to the air element in some way, shape, or form. That is showing up here for you guys as well. So there definitely is like this need to cleanse the mental body for group number 2, and there's a need to be able to come down into your body and out of the mental space, and to come into your heart, and so into your emotional body and into your physical body. Those parts of yourself need to be brought together here, so that you're not solely being led by this mental chatter. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot, group number 2, and go a little deeper into this message for you in regards to your current psychic energy, your current psychic abilities, any guidance or advice that Spirit has for you in regards to these energies. For group number 2, please. We have the Devil coming out. There's definitely like some deception here. And I feel like this deception isn't like somebody lying to you or somebody misleading you. I feel like it's more of a perspective issue of like, it's very deceiving because you're thinking these thoughts with this automatic kind of processing of them being your thoughts. And it's making you see the world kind of skewed is how I'm seeing this. And it's almost feels like it's tempting you to give up on something. Interesting. This is Capricorn energy. This is Saturn energy. This is kind of some very heavy energy that's coming through here. So group number 2, there's like a lot of very heavy mental energy coming through here. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this Saturn energy, it's feeling like a lot like subconscious belief patternings that you're picking up on in yourself and in other people. Like the subconscious automatic belief about self and about what you're capable of and about your worth. As well as that Capricorn energy is very mature, very slow moving energy. So you guys may be kind of stuck in this cycle that you've been in for a very long time, but also there's this, I feel like there's a desire, there's something that you truly want, something that maybe for a lot of you guys you've been working towards for a very long time. And it's like you just can't seem to get to the finish line. You just can't seem to overcome whatever obstacles in your way. And there's definitely a message here that there's a need to keep going and there's a need to move forward in a way where other people's opinions, thoughts, ideas of what they're capable of, ideas of what you're capable of, need not be part of the equation. We also have the Two of Pentacles coming forth here. Yeah, so there's definitely this energy here of like do or die, like it's now or never type energy coming through here. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're leaning more towards like this never. You're leaning more towards giving up. And Spirit is saying like, don't do that. Don't give up. That's not what you truly desire. That's just what maybe seems easiest in the time, or what seems the most logical at the time, or what seems the most possible at the time, however that comes through for you. And Spirit is saying absolutely not. Like, don't let those thoughts get the best of you. Don't let this idea of, you know, what you're capable of, or other people's idea of what they are capable of, deceive you, okay? And we also have the Eight of Swords coming out. Yeah, there is definitely a feeling of running in place. Definitely this feeling of being very stuck, very stagnant, very slow moving, feeling trapped even for some of you guys, feeling like there is no way out, feeling like there is no other option. And Spirit is saying there absolutely is another option. If you can allow yourself to put these thoughts out of your mind. Again, there's a huge need to come into the emotional body and into the physical body here for group number 2. Huge need to come out of that mental body and allow kind of like this purging or this energetic clearing. Meditations to help with that, cutting cords, energetic cords, putting up protections in your mental space, you know, using like herbal shampoos to help protect your crown chakra, and to help protect you from like picking up on these radio signals, if you will, of other people's thoughts and ideas, because I feel like that's really heavily influencing you, but it's not influencing you in a way that is productive or in a way that keeps you moving forward. It's really discouraging for group number 2, and Spirit is saying there's a need to kind of gain control over that, in order for you to become mobile again. Okay. Wow. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you, group number 2, and see what else we have in regards to this message. Protection. Yeah, there is a huge need for you to protect yourself from other people's energies, from other people's thoughts. With this telepathic energy that's coming through here so strongly, it's almost like really a need to, you hear people talk about this empathic nature of like needing to like protect your energy so that when you go into the store, you don't pick up on everybody else's energy or any negative energy and take it on as your own. And I'm seeing this for group number 2, but in the mental body instead of the emotional body. So instead of like being triggered or picking up on other people's anger or on other people's sadness, and taking it on as though it's your own without that kind of ability to differentiate, there is the same thing happening for you, but it's in the mental body, like taking on other people's thoughts and other people's ideas, and other people's opinions, and not being able to decipher or differentiate yours from theirs, and it's impacting you in a way that's almost like binding, and there's a need to like cut that off. So again, like using herbal shampoos or, you know, wearing a hat or doing certain spells or rituals or meditations to protect your energy, carrying, you know, certain crystals with you that really resonate with you as protection can be very, very beneficial for you. Group number 2, very beneficial for you, as well as I really feel like anything that gets you out of the mental space, doing anything physical that causes you to kind of detach from that mental body for, you know, momentarily, whether it be physical exercise or yoga or anything that gets you out of the mental body physically and into that physical body is going to be very beneficial for you at this time. Let's pull another card here. We have psychometry with sensitivity. Yeah, there's a lot of sensitivity here for group number 2. A lot of sensitivity. And for a lot of you guys, tuning into like the physical senses is going to be super helpful for you. You know, if you can catch yourself in your mental body when your mind is taking off with you, if you can catch that, and bring yourself back to what can I feel, what do I feel emotionally, what do I feel physically, what do I see, what do I smell, what can I taste, what do I hear, that's gonna really help you come back to your physical present moment. So for a lot of you guys too, you may really be able to tune into what other people's thoughts were, through the physical world, through, you know, holding an object of somebody else's. You may be able to pick up on their thought process at that time, or, you know, what they were thinking or what they were saying or talking about at that time. Interesting. So really a big message for group number 2 here is learning how to be in control energetically of yourself in order to create this sense of moderation, like not being like overly open to this telepathic connection, whether it be to a specific person or just in general. Being in control of your own energy is very, very important for group number 2. And doing work with the mental body to gain that control over the mental body and to gain control and boundaries over what's allowed in and how to be able to tell what's yours and what isn't. Let's pull one more card for group number 2, please. Yeah, look at this. We have insight. This is understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. This is third eye energy, that mental body, that third eye, that crown chakra. Group number 2, that's very, very active and very, very open for you. You guys may be going through an awakening of this kind of energy at this time, an awakening to what it actually is for some of you guys. But there's definitely like huge activations happening here. For group number 2, huge activations that is bringing a lot of insight, a lot of clarity, a lot of awareness. So there's definitely a need to tune into that awareness, tune into being aware of what's yours and what isn't. That self-evaluation being very important here. And I also find it interesting that this protection card here and this insight card here, they're sitting in a very similar kind of meditative state, and I feel like that could be very beneficial for you. Doing meditations to cleanse your energy, doing meditations to protect your energy, to become familiar with your energy, is really going to help you along the way, group number 2. But this is what I'm seeing for you. I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what other readings you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 3. Those of you that chose pile number 3 with the petrified wood here, this reading is for you. And we are looking at your current psychic energy, your current psychic abilities, and any messages, guidance, advice that Spirit has for you in regards to this at this time. So group number 3, starting off, there is a huge sense of something being very stable or very predictable at its core, but changing kind of on the outside. And this is being shown to me kind of like as the tree here, and the seasons kind of changing around the tree, creating a different exterior to the tree, creating a different vibe to the tree with every season. But at its core, it's still this tree, right? It's still the same tree. It hasn't really changed. It's just grown, it's just evolved, and it's gone through cycles. And that's something that I'm really picking up on here for group number 3. So some of you guys, I feel like there's something here about kind of evolving or going through cycles, or transforming in some way, shape, or form. Moving into a new season for some of you guys is something that's coming through here. But let's go ahead and take a look at your current psychic energy, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 3, current psychic energy. Wow, we have the crone. There is definitely an evolution of your energy here, definitely a leveling up, definitely this sense of like wisdom. And even for some of you guys, this is like going into that winter season, going into that season that is very internal, that is very much so about studying, very much so about becoming wise, becoming more experienced in some way, shape, or form. Wow. Yeah, so there's definitely, it's for some of you guys, this could be coming through as kind of like a glow up. This could be coming through as an awakening. This could be coming through as an initiation. This could be coming through as an evolution, as understanding, as things coming together. It's going to come through a little differently for everybody, as this is a general reading, but there's definitely like the next level coming in here. And this, I feel like at the core for everybody that chose this pile, there is this coming together, like all of the dots finally being connected, like everything finally making sense, and understanding why you had to go through certain situations or why you had to have certain experiences in order to get to what it was that you wanted, when previously maybe a lot of those things didn't make sense to you. You didn't understand why this kept happening, or why you couldn't, you know, get past this certain obstacle, or, you know, why something kept repeating itself. It feels like for a lot of you guys, something kept repeating itself and you could not for the life of you get past whatever that was. And this is coming through here saying that that repetition is over. Like you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom that you need in order to bring closure to a situation. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, your ability to bring closure or to feel closure about certain situations or experiences is kind of maturing. So for some of you guys, you may have had a habit of running away from certain situations, or you may have had a habit of ending things very abruptly, or even kind of abandoning certain situations before they ever had a chance to fully play out, or however that comes through for you. There's like a maturing of this energy to where you're able to bring closure to a situation in order to walk away and actually leave it behind you. Whatever that situation may be, that's going to be different for everybody. Interesting. This is, I feel like for a lot of you guys, the ability to be like experienced enough and wise enough to have the knowledge, the information, and the intuition to be able to know whether or not something is good for you. For lack of a better way to say it, like that's how it's really coming through here. Like being able to trust that high priestess energy within you, that intuition within you on whether or not something is right for you, or whether or not something is good for you, and whether or not you should stay or you should leave, and being able to trust that and actually follow through with whatever that feeling is in order for you to reach your highest potential. So it's almost like an evolution of your intuition for a lot of you guys. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and pull some tarot for group number 3 and go a little deeper into this message. There's almost like this ability to see the bigger picture before everything is revealed. The ability to kind of step into the unknown and trust, surrendering to your intuition and to the unknown, being very powerful here for you, group number 3. So for a lot of you guys, you're being asked to surrender to your intuition, to the wisdom that you have, to the bigger picture, instead of what you might feel like you want right now. All right, so our first card out here is the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so what I see here for a lot of you guys is almost like this energy of my hands are tied. But there's this key here, and it's like, you know what you have to do. And you're surrendering to it, really. And for a lot of you guys, with this being like pentacle energy, it's like it's been a long time coming. Like I've been praying for something, I've been really desiring something, but you haven't been able to surrender to what it was that had to happen in order to get there, or what it was that had to leave your life, or what it was you had to accept the reality of. There's something here about acceptance for group number 3 that's coming through quite strongly, like finally accepting the reality of a situation, finally accepting the wisdom or the knowledge that you already have, instead of trying to resist it or trying to prove it wrong. For a lot of you guys, you know, this could play out in so many different ways, but there is definitely an essence for somebody here of a relationship not being good for you, whether it be romantic or not is irrelevant. A relationship not being good for you and not being able to walk away from it. There's closure coming to that, and like this realization of like a need for acceptance of that truth, or a need for acceptance of that reality, a need for acceptance of, you know, I love this person, you know, and they're not good for me at the same time, and I have to make a change. I have to bring closure to this. This is whatever this is for you. It feels like it is holding you back. It's keeping you off course. It's keeping you from your greatest potential. It's keeping you from that thing that you truly desire. And it's like, if you truly want that thing that you have been working towards your whole life, or that you've really been desiring, that you've been growing towards your whole life, then your hands are tied, and you have to kind of make this decision to bring closure into your life in the places that maybe you haven't been able to let go at yet, in the places that you haven't been able to surrender yet. I hope that makes sense for you. And it's very interesting to me that with the crone here, we have the raven or the crow in this hand, and then in our tarot card here, the Knight of Pentacles, we have these hands with this bird on top. So birds or hands may be very significant for you for some reason for group number 3. And also with this key here, I am kind of being led to the key that was on pile number 1. So anybody here who may have hesitated between the piles, that's just a confirmation that there is at least a message for you in that pile as well, but only if that's something you are already called to. We also have Justice. Yeah, I really feel like for a lot of you guys, this is about creating balance between yourself and others, creating balance between what you give and what you receive, creating balance between what you want and what you allow in your life. Because there's something here, I feel like, for group number 2, where it's like you intuitively know that something or someone isn't good for you, but there's like some fear surrounding letting it go, some fear surrounding allowing like freedom. There may even be trust issues for some of you guys, and Spirit is coming through here very strongly saying, like, you know, you are always going to be here. It's almost as though like you are this tree that is planted here, that is growing and moving through all of these seasons, like regardless of how your environment changes and the people that come and go, like you are always going to be here. And Spirit here is saying, like, you have to choose to water yourself. You have to choose to nurture yourself and to allow yourself to go through these transformations instead of trying to hold on to the leaves that you have right now. There's something here about like it's not there. It's almost as though what Spirit is saying is whatever it is that you're really holding on to and not allowing to transform or not allowing to fall is almost like defying the laws of nature right now. It's like defying the law. And that's going to resonate differently for everybody here, but it's like going against what you know, going against your better judgment. I'm really seeing here for a lot of you guys that your psychic energy and your ability here, your psychic ability is very powerful. Like you have very, very strong intuition. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of this high priestess energy of just having this knowing. Some of you guys may really resonate with being like clairvoyant, even like just having this ability to know the answers, having the ability to know what's good for you and what isn't. But it's like you're defying that right now, and Spirit really is bringing attention to that. And then we have the Lovers. Wow. Yeah. So there's definitely something here about a coming together almost with yourself even first. With justice here, there's definitely this essence of partnership. Justice has a lot to do with contract. Some of you guys, this is a soul contract type energy that you are evolving from this experience. It could be with another person. It could be a twin flame soulmate, especially with the lovers here. But it's definitely, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is highlighting a very specific relationship that you haven't allowed yourself to surrender to the reality of. Whether, for some of you guys, whether the reality is maybe positive, maybe the reality of this is that you know, that it is a good partnership and that you are having a lot of doubt or a lot of fear surrounding it. So you haven't allowed yourself to go to the next step or to the next level. But I feel like for a lot more of you, there's something here about knowing that somebody or something isn't good for you and not allowing yourself to follow that guidance, not allowing yourself to follow that intuitive kind of feeling, and repeating this over and over again, whether it be with the same people or the same person or the same situation over and over again. So for some of you guys, it could be different people as you move through life, as you move through different seasons of your life, but the same outcome, the same experience over and over and over again. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is going to happen until you surrender to this inner knowing that you already have, that something isn't right for you, or that you can't hold on to whatever this is forever, that you have to allow your leaves to fall in order to bring in this closure. With the lovers here, this is about trust. This is about union. This is about coming together. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like this coming together has a lot to do with like this understanding. It has a lot to do with the coming together of the bigger picture, with the connection of all the dots, and like understanding how you're meant to move forward in order to get to maybe the relationship that you're truly desiring. Or even for some of you guys, in order for a twin flame union to come back together, or to find your soulmate, or whatever it is you're seeking, whether it be friends, family. There's definitely like an evolution trying to happen here in regards to your relationships. But in order for that to happen, you have to first allow yourself to trust what you already know and surrender to what you already know. Because like I said, group number 3, your psychic energy is very, very strong in regards to your wisdom, in regards to your kind of your psychic knowing. Like you already know the answer. Before the question is even asked, you already know the answer, but you aren't allowing yourself to surrender to that answer. You aren't allowing yourself to believe in that answer that you already have. You know, and this can play out so many different ways for different people. This is a general reading, but like for one example, what I'm seeing here is like really wanting and really desiring this very happy, healthy, balanced partnership with a romantic partner, but wanting it to be a very specific person, and like begging spirit, begging the universe to change this person into what it is that you want, instead of realizing that you can have everything that you want and everything that you need in a partner, but it can't be this person. It's kind of that situation, and that's going to be different for everybody. How that resonates is going to be different for everybody. So apply that scenario, how it resonates for you, whether it's a person, whether it's something else for you that you're really wanting, but it's like you're only allowing yourself to let it come in from one specific place. And it's like you're tying spirit's hands here. You're not allowing spirit to give you what it is you're asking for, because you're almost like trying to force it to be through something, or trying to force it to be somebody that it isn't. And this may create a lot of tension within your reality. It may be creating a lot of conflict for you. There is something here about like needing to understand that you're trying to force something to change instead of allowing yourself to change. Okay, let's pull some tarot or some oracle cards for you, group number 3, and see what else Spirit has to say to you in regards to your psychic energy. We have move. Yeah, it's like you're trying to stand still, trying to hold on to every leaf that you have, trying to force something to be something it isn't. And there's a need to let go, a need to release. Okay. We also have psychometry with sensitivity. There's definitely something here with the hands for group number 3. I think for a lot of you, it's like you're searching for a partnership. I really feel for a lot of you, you're searching for partnership with justice, with the lovers. This hand here with the ring is really speaking to me. Like you're searching for something that is going to last forever, searching for someone or searching for a sense of loyalty, for a sense of commitment. And for a lot of you guys, that may be what's kind of keeping you in the place that you're at, this kind of warped sense of what commitment is for some of you guys. But for the rest of you, like what I'm seeing here is like in order to obtain this commitment that you're desiring, you have to move on from where you currently are. Let's pull one final card here. Yeah, so even with this ring, I'm seeing like there's a need to break the cycle. There's definitely something here about needing to break a cycle or a pattern that you've been in, like I said at the beginning of this. And we also have faith, and again with the hands. Hope, support, miracles, and spirituality. Yeah, there's a need to trust the answers that you already have, a need to let go, a need to surrender, a need to trust. Again, like there's definitely something here about wanting something different in the future, but not being able to let go of something right now in order to get to that future, essentially, is the overall energy of this reading here. And the advice here is to surrender, to let go, to let go of the bird, to let go of trying to force something to be something it isn't, to surrender to something that you already know. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, what it is that you already know is that something isn't working, that you have to shed your leaves, that you have to shed something or someone within your life in some way, shape, or form. You have to do that, but you haven't allowed yourself to out of this fear of letting go. And that's really what's holding you back and keeping you from growing. But this is what I'm seeing from my beautiful group number 3. I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this reading. Let me know what other readings you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 4. Those of you that chose pile number 4 with the compass here, this reading is for you. And we are looking at your current psychic energy, your current spiritual and psychic abilities that are coming through, and the messages, guidance, advice that Spirit has for you in regards to this energy, okay? So starting off, group number 4, I am getting a very almost like a pirate vibe, or like ship, like I'm seeing like a pirate ship. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, group number 4, maybe you were some sort of you know, map maker or cartographer in a past life, or you spent a lot of time on a ship, or you were maybe a pirate. Maybe you resonate with that energy a lot. But there's definitely something here about like a past life spent on a ship or on the ocean in some way, shape, or form, and learning how to navigate life, learning how to navigate geographically without the same kind of tools that you would use on land. Interesting. So that may be something for a lot of you guys here. Learning how to navigate by the stars is something that a lot of kind of like pirates did, or people who spent a lot of time on ships learned how to navigate, or learned how to kind of recognize where they were based upon the stars. So there may be something very significant about the night sky for group number 4 as well at the time that you're watching this video. Something very significant about the current astrological events that are going on, or about your birth chart, or something like that. But let's go ahead, group number 4, and get into your reading. And we're going to start off here with your current psychic energy, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 4, please. We have the Pilgrim. Interesting. You guys are my free spirits. I feel like for a lot of you guys there is a need to travel, and for a lot of you it's almost as though your psychic energy is trying to lead you to a new place, trying to lead you to the next kind of great adventure. There's a lot of Sagittarius energy that's coming in here. There's a need for freedom. There's a need for travel. There's a need for adventure here. And it's almost as though your energy really relies on that. Your psychic energy, your spiritual energy really relies on travel and on adventure. You guys have like a very adventurous soul. And I feel like that's very connected to like your purpose, or a part of like your personal purpose here on this earth is to travel. And for some of you guys, there's a past life coming in here where it's like you're being called to a specific place, a specific country, a specific energy, to maybe heal some past life wounds, or to bring closure to certain soul cycles, or however that might come through for you. But there's definitely a very heavy energy here of like your psychic energy being depleted, and in order to replenish, rejuvenate that, there's a need for traveling, a need for adventure, a need for vacation, a need for getting away in some way, shape, or form. Interesting. So for a lot of you guys, your mind may be in another place quite often as well. You may be very good at astral projecting. A lot of messages may come through in like your dreams as well. You may dream about certain places, even about other worlds or other realms, or even like where your soul came from. There's something very, very prominent within your subconscious mind that brings you to another place, however that might come through for you. And there's a need for replenishment of that energy. It's almost as though your psychic energy is trying to lead you to the place that's going to bring replenishment and rejuvenation to your psychic energy, to your mental energy, your emotional energy, and to your soul. It's almost as though your soul is tired, group number 4. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot and go a little deeper into this message for group number 4, please. There's definitely like this energy of discovering new land, discovering new territory. So group number 4, for a lot of you guys too, you may be entering into a new kind of territory or a new world, whether that be physically, whether that be spiritually, whether there's like new realms or doors opening up psychically for you, or like in your spiritual abilities, there may be new things opening up for you, or new things that you're noticing, new things that you're being interested in. And because of that, there's like a need for more energy intake. Like there's a need for more of an energy reserve. Maybe some of you guys are just dipping your toe into the idea of giving readings for other people, or doing some kind of service that requires you to give a lot of your energy, or that kind of depletes you in some way, shape, or form. There's a need for rejuvenation, though. Whatever it is that's draining your energy, there's a need for rejuvenation in order to avoid burnout and in order to avoid kind of like roadblocks or blockages. And I really feel like for group number 4, like roadblocks or blockages or stagnancy is probably one of the worst feeling things that you can experience in this lifetime, because your soul wants to move. Your soul came into this earth, into this world, wanting to experience a lot of it, wanting to travel, wanting to move. Okay, so let's get some tarot. We have the Empress, wanting to grow, wanting to expand. So I really feel like you guys flourish. The more you travel, the more you expand your network, your reach, whether that be physically traveling or like, you know, meeting other people, collaborating with somebody in another country. There's something here about really needing to expand your reach. And this is also going to bring in abundance and nourishment to you. The further you can reach outward, the more abundance and growth and nourishment you are going to receive. Group number 4. Wow. We also have the Star. A hunting we will go is what that ribbon says right there. Yeah, there is definitely a need to reach new territory, however that happens for you, whether it's a pen pal in another place, whether that's collaborating again like online, or you know, somehow connecting to, you know, even the other side of the world, or to a very specific place, city, country, town, whatever, online or physically traveling there. It's going to bring a lot of healing to you, group number 4. A lot of healing. I really feel for a lot of you guys, this is about us, like a soul healing cycle that you're currently going through. That's really something that I'm feeling very deeply here. And with the Star, like I said, for a lot of you guys, you might be led by the stars. Okay. And if there's like an astrological kind of aspect to this for you guys, we have with the Empress here, this is Venus energy. This is the energy of pleasure, the energy of luxury, of abundance, our money, our work, our finances, indulgence. There's a need to indulge. And then with the Star here, this is Aquarius energy, and this is the energy of the 11th house. This is the house of friendship, you know, the house of connecting to other people and other places. But it's also the energy of, you know, maybe feeling otherworldly, or like a starseed, or like you don't belong here. There's definitely this feeling here for group number 4 about like belonging somewhere else, your soul longing for another place, and there's a need to trust that. Okay, there's a need to follow that, group number 4, because it's leading you to healing, and it's leading you to replenishment, and it's leading you to abundance. Wow. Some of you guys may be just kind of stepping into the realm of like star seeds and studying. I'm really picking up on like some Syrian energy here for some of you guys. But I feel like for group number 4, a lot of you guys are currently coming into contact with like some sort of energy that is almost like a calling home. Or like a connection to your soul's home in some way, shape, or form. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like that's like some other world or planet or realm. We have the Fool. We have all 3 major arcanas here for group number 4. So this is a very big kind of pivotal time for group number 4. Even on the bottom of the deck, we have major arcana with the Hierophant. So with the Fool here, again, this is like initiation. This is like that initial dipping your toe into the water. This is that need to just follow that spontaneous energy, group number 4. Wow. there's some sort of energy here where it's like, oh, I just really have this desire to go to this place today, and going there and getting very lucky, you know, winning some sort of raffle that they held at this event that you spontaneously decided to go to. It's like that kind of energy. Like the more you follow that initial, almost impulsive energy here, the more abundance and replenishment and nourishment it's going to bring. So I feel like group number 4, a lot of you guys, your psychic energy maybe comes through for you in like imagery of other places, or like even imagery of like the pyramids, or of, you know, other realms, even in meditations and things like that. And there's a need to follow where you're being led. You may see like road signs or town names, or, you know, you may even like hear somebody when you're walking down the road talking about some sort of event that's happening that night. And if that's the case, there's a need to like go to that. Interesting. You guys are being led towards like abundance and replenishment. There's just a need to follow it. There's a need to trust that like the places that you're being led to are places that you're being led to for a reason. A big reason. I feel like there's a big reason for why this is happening, and I feel like it's more kind of soul level and almost purpose driven for group number 4. Wow. So let's pull a few oracle cards for you guys and see what else Spirit has to say in regards to this energy. For group number 4, we have release. We have abundance. So yeah, there's definitely this essence of like draining your energy being drained, released. You guys may be going through a purge of some sort at this time. You may also be hesitating about going to certain places because of the cost or the financial or resources that it's going to cost you. And if that's the case, Spirit is saying do it. There's a need to clear out the old in order to make room for the bigger, better, newer abundance that's trying to come in. We have abundance. I mean, you're definitely being led to like your abundance. It's almost as though you guys are being led like by a lucky star, or very Sagittarius, Jupiter like energy here. We also have fragmented. Yeah, I feel like this is about, for group number 4, this is about like a bringing back together of some fragmented energy that you guys have, or even like fragmented soul memories almost is how this is coming through. Trying to put the pieces back together by following your intuition, by following this kind of psychic imagery of different places in order to bring your soul back together. For some of you guys, you have energy stuck in other places from like past lives. Or even, again, like there's this feeling of being homesick. So however this is resonating for you, whether you have fragmented energy and you have energy stuck in time in another place on this earth from a past life, or even a need to call your energy home to you from like your soul's home. Either way, there's like a calling back of your soul, a calling back of your fragmented energy in order to create wholeness and in order to replenish you and to rejuvenate you. Interesting. We even have here on the bottom of the deck spontaneity with fire. There's a need to trust that spontaneous energy for you guys, I'm telling you. Let's go ahead and pull one final message for group number 4, please. Dreams. Messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. There's a lot of guidance for you right now, group number 4, a lot of guidance, and it's coming through in so many different ways. It's very interesting that we have the compass as well. So you are definitely being directed through your dreams, through your third eye, through your psychic energy, through, you know, messages, symbols, through your kind of impulsive actions. There's a need to follow those. Follow that guidance that you're receiving, because it's leading you to wholeness, it's leading you to healing, and it's leading you to abundance, group number 4. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like however this comes through, it's going to require taking some risks. So just keep that in mind, okay? Don't allow taking a risk to scare you. I mean, obviously, you know, take calculated risks. Don't be, you know, overly ambitious in a way where you like dive into the pit head first with absolutely nothing and no way to, you know, care for yourself. But, you know, just be smart about it, but don't allow your fear to hold you back, and know that you will be provided for. The more steps you take, the more you follow this guidance, what you need in that moment will show up for you in your path. And there's a need to trust that. Interesting. But this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 4. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what other readings you guys would like to see. Let me know how this resonated for you. I know this particular reading didn't really dive too much into kind of like your spiritual abilities, but this was just the message that wanted to come out for you today. But consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.